So over here, today I'm going to be doing a VoD review of the Hanamura maps of South Korea versus United States and Canada. This is just to do pretty much a breakdown of their strategy on both defense and offense of both maps. On this one, you see that they are against the United States and they are currently on defense. They're currently running the Arisa and Roadhog comp, where the Arisa clumps the group together behind out of a shield, and then the Roadhog gets a hook, with CLB kind of being a flanker, and Flower just doing spam and or damage break shields and trying to just make openings for CLB. Majority of the healing is going to be coming from Toby. He's going to be trying to keep the tanks up with Flower, maybe damage boosting him, but Ryohong-jae should be trying to keep CLB alive with a Orb of Harmony. Right now, Cool Mat. Okay, so this is for Team USA. The Cool Mat and Fact Fiction are on D.Va and Winston, so they can be diving. Tracer, and so these three, D.Va, Winston, Tracer, can dive the back line or provide pressure onto their enemy support core. And Raucus, Jake, and Adam are probably going to be peppering them from afar and trying to keep their tank line alive as long as possible. You see that with the high point advantage from here, that Team Korea has a good scouting position, and that they're going to be swapping off their characters. Roadhog, they swapped to Roadhog and Junkrat, seeing that they are up there with the certain heals they had. Junkrat gives them more spam, Roadhog gives them a more pick opportunity, so they're going to be entrenched for a long fight. The only problem with this setup versus their setup right now is that they do not have a shield to shield poke. So they do not, in any long-term engagement, they will stand to lose. So if they don't have any sort of pick or any sort of hook from Roadhog, they will be at a severe disadvantage because the Arisa will be doing more stuff. Sinatra's on Tracer, but we'll see here that Sinatra won't be as effective against CLB or the enemy team trying to pick off support core. So with the swap to Roadhog and Junkrat, you're seeing that. Let's see for the first fight. So they're at the high ground, so Junkrat is less effective. Cool Mat's instantly chunked for almost all his HP. Almost 60% of his HP. You see that, let's see. Yeah, so Cool Mat is going to instantly lose his mech, and then mech is down. CLB isn't actually flanking for the first fight because they don't know the enemy's composition, so they're just currently deathballing. Flower is fine, everything's fine here, but they lost one of their main tanks, and Diva's dead, so it's instantly a 5v6. After that fight, you see that CLB, Sinatra, all advantage already there. Cool Mat's at 6%. Their tanks are at 23 and 18%. Just seeing that instant fight is how to snowballs into a Korean victory, just because they weren't prepared for a shielding. Oh, Toby goes down. That is massive for Team America, but they can't capitalize on that because they don't have a shield to go behind. They don't have enough. With Cool Mat down, they don't have enough to back them up. So in this moment, Adam reses Cool Mat, so they're down the res, but they are down Toby. So with D.Va back up, they can now try to push in. Jake goes in first with Mercy pocketing him. I'm trying to break the South Korean defense right now. Tanks are down. Jake isn't taken care of, and with Junkrat's changes, they managed to take out that many people. So initially, it looks very bad for America with Cool Mat going down almost for free. But with that, they kind of scout out their composition. They kind of, and they get a really lucky, fortunate pick on Toby. That's really what propels them forward to win. Toby just dies to Jake from the explosive mine. This is really good, fortunate pick from. Yeah, so because they got the pick on Toby, they essentially blew the fight open because they lost their Mercy. They had the advantage since they have the 5v6, even though they lost D.Va first. Up here, same thing. It's going to be a spam corridor. Junkrat has ulti here. Tracer has ulti for CLB. Sinatra's almost at ulti. Adam almost at ulti. Because Toby died so quickly, he's not at ulti yet. And Flower is very close to ulti, so this depends. This is one of the bigger. This and CLB's. Ooh, D.Va. They got D.Va. Monkey's down, Mano's dead, and D.Va is desuited. So that is most of the tank line right there. And this is just essentially USA pushing through. Even though there isn't that much of a difference now, that Mana has to swap off to May. Okay. So this is essentially a snowball off the first point. Because Toby died, because the Junkrat got a lucky spam, that was essentially how Korea lost their first point. So they didn't take out Ryo Hongjae, and then that should be it. They lost Mercy, so with Diva ulti, Mono's the last guy alive. Mano's dead, and they should win. Yep. So that is almost a minute and something for the first book. Yeah, so that was pretty quick for USA. The highlights of that whole push would be from Diva going down it quickly to scout out, but they got the res out, and then Toby instantly dying. So because of Toby going down, the entire composition falls. It doesn't fall apart, but there isn't enough healing from just the Zenyatta to keep the rest of their players alive. Let me see if they had a Zenyatta. Yeah, they had a Zenyatta last time. So as soon as Mercy goes down, they only have Zenyatta for healing, and they don't have enough to keep their tank line alive with the Orisa and Roadhog. Moving on to the second map. So, Team USA has a different setup. They have Monkey Diva, Tracer Soldier again. They swapped to Roadhog and Junkrat for the attack, but they seem to be doing a more different. Sinatra's up there just in case they have a far or any sort of aggressive high ground taking. So, other team, they have Monkey Diva to create room for the Widow, Tracer to create room. So it's these three, and then Widow's try to make picks. Widow scouting from behind to see if there's any Tracers aggro. Tracer just took a bunch of damage to him. Ruckus almost takes him out. Yeah, that was Ruckus, not actually Tracer. My bad. Ruckus goes up. Team USA is playing pretty well, but then now they're starting to fall off behind the house. So Jake gets the 2 tanks, but in doing so, they lose their position by the house, so they're exposed to Widow over here on the main point. There, Ruckus is down. So even though they lost both tanks, they lost a healer. Tracer goes back down. Drake's down. That's 3 picks for Flower, and USA essentially needs to fall back. So the tanks are still alive for USA, but that's about it. Adam's dead, and Widow is essentially just got 3 quick picks and 4 COB. Alright, so the point should be it. Jake's dead. So because of no shielding, because they had a Winston and Diva, the 4 core needed to play much more defensive well, they didn't know that the Widow existed, but they needed to play more defensive if they have any cover to hide behind the Widow shield. Additionally, because Coolmat and Fact Fiction are essentially, they need to pinpoint or dive the Widow in order for this competition to fall apart, they don't have any way to exploit that win condition without knowing that there is a Widow. So essentially, the element of surprise caught them off guard, and Flower essentially pulled them all off. Alright, so same thing. So Flower's scouting up ahead right now. See if he can get anything. Right now USA knows that Flower is on Soldier, so Jake swapped off of Soldier to Genji so he can dive more properly. So these 2 basically try to take out the Widow. Fact Fiction, they probably will be trying to keep the supports alive. So instead of the DPS core trying to keep the supports alive, the tanks will probably be trying to dive and or keep the supports alive from the enemy dive. So right now it's kind of just damage control from the Widow being so effective. They should be okay. Widow's ult is up. You see the supports are there. Tanks are kind of split up, so they aren't in death ball. Sinatra and Genji are trying to flank. Jake goes down from Flower and Jae-Hong. They're on the point. The tanks, only Tracer's on the point. There's not really anything contesting besides the tanks and Tracer. So right now Winston is diving onto that, but as soon as Winston dives, he just hooks away. Diva and Winston dive, and they can't. And Genji manages to finish off the kill. Flower's dead, but the damage is Diva ulti. Yeah. So the tanks are alive, but the supports can't come far out, even though Flower is dead because of Winston. This is going a little bit fast paced, so I probably will break this down again a couple more times just to see how everything's going. So Monkey, Winston's just pushing Jake away. Mano's literally just body blocking for the team so they can't get to the point. This essentially closes off one quarter and forces everyone else to other quarters, so Flower has an easier time sniping. So Flower is currently being harassed by the enemy Winston, USA Winston, and Tracer Sinatra's there. So they got one tick. They didn't get a second tick. But even with them regrouping, they didn't lose very much unless I want to double check that. CLB. So Sinatra, Adam, Ryo Hongjae, Fact Fiction, CLB. Okay. So Winston's here, Ryo Hongjae died, and Zumba died. That's the reason for the fallback. Because they instantly know this fight is over, Mano's just kind of stalling, CLB is that, and they're backing off now because they don't want to overcommit, and then you just wait for Zumba and Ryo Hongjae to come back. So Mano, he would probably stay a little bit too long, but he did manage to stall them out from pushing out the rest of his team. So that was why they backed out, and this seems these 4 people are the last people who survived. Zumba just respawned. So Adam's dead. This means that Flower is essentially opened up the whole thing again. She just popped her ulti up here. So Genji's right there getting ready to flank, so Adam can't get anything. Tracer is still currently on the point because there isn't any pressure from the tanks. Genji is currently trying to dive, and Genji is just... The Winston is protecting Widow from Genji right now, so Widow just turns around. Interestingly enough, he isn't going for Adam, even though Adam has ulti. But it looks like he's going for the easier targets. Winston's dead. Okay. So Widow's essentially the cooldown of grappling hook being reduced is really what's keeping Flower alive, as well as good support play and good tank protection. If you notice that two of the 3 big pushes came after Adam died, and Adam is actually the linchpin for, well, it's not the linchpin, but Adam is essentially the weakest point for Team USA. If he goes down, then the rest of the Team USA cannot survive because they are typically running either a Zenyatta or right now they have a soldier. So as soon as Adam dies, there's not enough sustain to keep the rest of the tanks alive. Sinatra's getting hit. Sinatra's dead. May's dead, and that's another. Both of probably make this volume a little quieter because there's a lot of yelling stuff. All right. So second go around with Korea attacking. They had very good same things, the same comp, Widow, Tracer, and then same tank core, which actually with a Diva Winston, Mercy Dad, Tracer, Jake. So Jake's trying to, even though they know that Widow's coming out. Yeah, they don't have any shield tanks still. So that makes that Ursi has to essentially fend for herself for Widow, for the position herself well. Selby's down. Jay got her. So right now they're waiting for Selby to respawn so they don't take a 5v6. So Widow is currently trying to make a space for her team because the tanks can't go in without Tracer. And the Zenyatta's right there. Zenyatta's trying to take out Zenyatta and Winston, or Diva try to combine to take out the Widow. It's really going very fast. I might want to actually slow this down for the second watch through of this to just break down what's going on. Right now Flower's probably trying to wait for a pick from one of the supports because we're down another. Yeah, so with this map you can see that Flower can't actually get a good sight line on any of these heroes or any of these or any of Team USA because they're behind the wall, and the tank line is a pretty good tank DPS 2 support, so this tank's fine. Winston probably has Discord or Harmony, and they can probably try to dive Widow or try to take out the backline so they're push stalls. With this, AOB and Winston dive in. Closed captioning. You see that Cool Matt is trying to essentially make space, pushing them off. Korea just dives into the point, trying to force them off the cover, and then USA needs to contest that. Diva's actually, instead of going onto the point, he's contesting the Widow to provide the rest of his team because he knows that if they go onto the point, then and Monkey's dead right there. He just got hit twice. Monkey actually got Power Rage, did he? So right now, Monkey's actually taking quite a few pot shots, and he actually kills the Widow. So this is much better adaptation from the USA side, but you still see that Sailby is still alive, and he's trying to keep flanking. He swapped to Genji, okay. So Nanohana or Flower swapped to the Genji. And because they're hiding now, so that was a really good adaptation with the Diva diving. Because Diva can survive longer, even though Winston can kill, they're alternating their tanks diving, so Widow has to try to survive on her own. The tanks aren't providing as much peel for her because they're trying to contest the low ground, trying to get close to the point. So Widow is essentially a sitting duck because the tank line is moved up. Alright. Diva's moving up, Zumba's moving up. The Monkey's trying to get off. Ryo Hongjae's pretty low. Soldier, Ryo Hongjae dies to Diva. Coolmat dives in. Toby reses Ryo Hongjae. Toby's dead. Just push the shit stall now unless Widow gets 15 of like 3 or 4 picks. Or no, there's no Widow. Genji got Diva shooting, that's it. Yeah, because Toby, a lot of this game is mistakes coming from the Mercy players. They're not mistakes, but they're getting picked off at crucial moments. Zumba is going to get staggered. They're going to try to kill him after time. Or they're not going to kill him after. Interesting. Okay, so they didn't kill Zumba, but he's still at Mini Diva. He's going to get mech soon, though, with that. Same thing, they're set up around the side. So this time, they're actually set up. So Fact Fiction and Cool Matter right here. Tracer's behind the rock. And the support and Jake are back here because it's not actually a Widow now. So this is where they can contest the point more easily with Winston Diva jumping back, but they still have enough room to contest without getting exposed to the Genji Tracer. Tracer actually goes around to the flank, try to hit the Mercy in the back, while the rest of the team is going to provide forward pressure for COB to sneak behind. Save Yobi. Good. So Soldier at this point is good. Genji's forced back out with the DPS, and the tanks go through. They try to provide cover for the rest of the team to go through the small house to the left. Rockets is dead, so Mercy's dead. Jake's dead. So Mercy got Rockets back up, but because of that, Jake is dead. Jake also goes back up, but that's both of Mercy's reses for this fight. So now just Korea needs to web up. So Genji, Flower dies, but he doesn't get anything. Toby reses Genji. Ryo Hongjae goes down, so right now it's going to be Mercy battle. Toby should still be able to out-sustain. Mercy goes down. CLB gets Sinatra, and then this is where it collapses because Adam dies again. There's not really anything he can do better to survive here, so get a little bit more protection from his tanks, but it's a Tracer Genji, so he's going to die. It's a matter of when. Alright, that's good. Yeah, so Adam died first. Adam burned both his reses earlier in the fight, so Korea did have more juice to push out the fight, as well as CLB and Flower doing a really good job making sure that they're a threat and making sure they're alive. Important point for this right now is that Korea has ulti advantage because they won that fight pretty handily. Tracer ulti, Zen ulti, Mercy ulti charge, they have a similar amount. Genji ulti is much higher than Jake ulti, so Genji can't get another Dragon Blade even though he just used it. And tank ultis are around the same except for Diva. So that's where the main advantage is. They're going to be trying to push up top right. Genji's going to top left, and they're essentially going to. So the good thing about this is that Korea shows that they don't have the brute force with the Widow, and they can have a variety of different looks for their enemy team to look at. CLB is over here again. Stux the Zenyatta. That's good. Mercy has to burn her res again. 30-second cooldown until next one. Sinatra is essentially contesting point, not really providing the same backline pressure as CLB is. Adam's down. So both supports are down. Tracer's down. Because their tank line and CLB are providing so much pressure on the supports, they're dying much faster in almost all the fights. An average time, average 2 to 3 seconds before Toby and Ryo Hongjae go down. Even though Ryo Hongjae is lower, their supports go down first. And this is the main difference in positioning and tank coordination with their DPS. I think that Flower is still the standout player of this series, but you can definitely see that the main reason these fights break down is because the supports are dying. And because the supports are dying, the supports aren't actually being positioned poorly. It's that the tank lines are moving much better in cohesion with their Tracer. And I think that Flower is still providing pressure even when he's on Genji on the back line. This means that because the supports aren't getting enough protection, the Korean tanks are getting much more work done because they still have their supports alive longer, and Korea just manages to win for cap 4 times. Okay, so the United States are going to be doing Jake on. So they swapped to the comp they had earlier. So I think they should have a Roadhog if they're doing Jake with that for the pick. Oh, they're doing triple support. Okay, they're doing triple support. No, yeah, monkey. I think this is for the speed, I guess. Yeah, so it's the same. They didn't swap to the Roadhog this time. Interesting, because I don't think they saw the. Okay, so the reason why they went Roadhog Junkrat last time was to go shield break on the Arisa. This time they're seeing that there isn't an Arisa or Roadhog, that they just switch to their standard comp. This is essentially what USA runs for a majority. This is what they're most comfortable on. For Korea, they're going to be playing the same comp, I think. Yeah, this is just standard meta comp. There's nothing, no different looks. Tracer should be flanking. Sinatra is going to try to flank. Sinatra's by himself. He's trying to provide pressure, but right now he's hitting Diva, who's getting pocketed, he's hitting the Diva, which is pointless when he should be trying to kill the supports. So Sinatra, even though he's well positioned, he's focusing the wrong targets, therefore not providing his team the necessary pressure. He's hitting the tank, so there's nothing that provides. Ryo Hongjae has a little bit of pressure, but with right next to Mercy, he has plenty of time. Tanks fall back, try to take out Tracer. This Tracer gives the rest of Team USA the focus on him. The rest of Team USA can push him from the other side, and he regroups with their team. So that's pretty good. Diva's essentially the only one exposing herself on point. She has double healing. She can survive most, but she should be dead now. And Flower goes down. Toby reses Flower. Mano goes down. Ryo Hongjae goes down. America should win this. Oh no, Toby's still alive. Toby res Mano, and Toby did not go down after that. Okay, this is Flower, Jake. Okay, so even though Toby managed to stay alive a little bit longer and get a little bit later reses, because the rest of the Team USA isn't going down, Sinatra manages to push off. Diva suicides, good. So USA manages to go. Let's watch that fight one more time. Okay. So this position is where Sinatra's drawing the pressure from the tank line to deal with him, even though he's a single tracer. He's getting the attention of Diva, Mercy, Junkrat. He's essentially drawing pressure onto himself so that the rest of Team USA can push him to the point without that much pressure. Recalls back out, good. Jumps out, that's good. Raucus is up there in case he needs any backup healing, and he just jumps on the rest of the team, so they have a 6-man group now. So that was really good from Tracer, from Sinatra, to make sure that. Zumba is trying to contest the point with the healing from Zenorb. Mercy's going to be healing him in a second. And you can see that the difference in HP is about the same. Tracer's a little bit more higher up for that. But Mercy ulti is Adam versus Toby. It's very similar. So Flower has ulti, Tracer has ulti. Jake doesn't have ulti yet. Jake dies, Toby reduces a res. Ryo Hongjae dies. Toby doesn't res Ryo Hongjae because he knows he needs to res a tank later. Interesting. So Jake's currently being pocketed by the Mercy. So Jake kills Mono, kills Flower, and Cool Mac gets rezzed. So Adam's still alive, and Toby's... Yeah, Toby's dead. Okay. So Nacho was pivotal to that fight, so that was a really small thing, which essentially swung the whole thing into favor because that gave USA the tracer flank managed to give US, even though he was focusing the wrong targets at first, he didn't really have anyone else to hit. He managed to get enough pressure on the back line that his team managed to get better positioning on the Hanamura because he was flanking. Yeah. Alright, so Winston. Okay. I'm pretty sure USA pushes through here too. Just a little bit. So they're all on high ground right now, it looks like. Winston goes in first with Diva. Winston backs out, heals back up, and he's almost at ulti. And then, interestingly enough, the Mono goes back. While Winston and Diva are contesting the front, Mono goes around and contests back and kills Jake. This should force out a res. Unless they want to, yeah, so Jake's res is forced. Mercy's res is forced out. That's good. Sinatra should be dead. Shelby kills him. Flower is dead. Jake kills 2. Toby's dead, no res. So even though they lost Sinatra, they traded back for their Mercy. Zumba ulti doesn't really do much, but he manages to remech, which is good. Mono. Ryu Hongjae is doing work. CLB's behind. Ooh, that was close. And then Diva manages to squash Jake. Monkey ults. Fact Fiction probably... This is very close. This fight is very close. So I probably need to rewatch this again. Looks like Tracer gets Zumba demacked, but Zumba's still alive. So Zumba just died. Okay, Jake got Zumba. Fact Fiction dies. Both tanks down. Adam ults, reses. Flower gets his ulti. This is just a fucking clusterfuck. Jesus Christ. I'm probably not going to release this VoD to public because it's just a bunch of shit that I can't fucking digest because it's going too fast. I should probably play this on half speed because it's going too fast. Alright, Jake. They're getting kills, but they haven't been they've been staggered deaths, so there's at least one person contesting the payload at any point, which is bad for USA because they're not. Yeah, they didn't wipe cleanly. So it was a very long, dragged out fight. CLB's down. Save LB. Transcendence. Zenyatta actually kills Jake right as he ults, and that's massive for DPS. And then Toby is still alive with his Valk. It's knock-on effect. Diva's still alive. Like, CLB is focusing the goddamn Diva, not CLB, the Sinatra's focusing Diva right now when he should be trying to kill off the supports of Ryu Hongjae or Toby. And it just shows you the difference in focus from the two teams. Even though they're doing a similar amount of damage, their focus is not. Their damage is on the wrong targets. Rockets goes down. They're just hitting the tank does nothing for the team. So Sinatra is essentially, even though he's doing similar things to CLB, it's just the same amount of pressure applied in a different place. Make sure that Korea is much more effective. It's interesting that there's such a, even though when they're playing mirror comps, there's such a difference in their play. Sinatra is not worse than CLB, but he's just hitting the wrong targets and he's not applying enough pressure. There was one time where you applied enough pressure, and that was the only time where America broke through. Flowers on Bastion right now. So it's a Bastion right now. I think they popped the Zenyatta ulti to keep him alive, but the Tracer might be able to kill him. Nope, okay, he's good. So, yeah, the Bastion manages to hold them off, so that's a little bit of... He built enough ult charge for his ulti, so it makes it worth it for him to stay on it for next fight. This is a surprise. That's good. They didn't burn the America Transcendence or Mercy ulti, so they should have ulti advantage. But they don't have the DPS ultis to clean it up with, so they don't have enough to clean wipe this fight probably, unless the tanks do something amazing. So Jake's just top center contesting. There's the Bastion right there. Bastion should be. Bastion's still alive. Bastion's dead. Okay, Bastion gets rezzed, and Bastion uses the ulti after he gets rezzed. So essentially, he kills himself. D.Va kills him. Zumba goes down. Mini D.Va dies. Attack visors. So this should be the push that goes through because Jake managed to get attack visor out. Okay, that should be it. That's it. CLB and Ryu Hongjae swaps to Ana in overtime. Not overtime, but he swapped to it earlier at 69%. So he had 69%, so that means he swapped to it earlier. So Bastion right now that's it. So Sinatra manages to push up forward, provide pressure. Okay, so 1 minute for each team. Genji. So he's on Genji now, not Widow. So the Widow is essentially the same as the Bastion, where it's an element of surprise. Ana goes down, Ryu Hongjae. So CLB is on offense. He's killing the tanks right now, but there's no one healing the tanks, so he actually is providing support for his team. CLB is trying to escape right now. This is eerily similar to the first time. Right now he's trying to get to the Mercy, but the Mercy goes around the other way, so he's okay. So CLB is still behind, so that's going to be important for the next fight unless he dies. Winston could just contest the point instantly because they only have a minute, which is good. They have 3 seconds, so Toby jumps on the point. Widow. Looks like Soldier. Yeah, Soldier kills Widow here. That's good. Oh, it's the first one hold. Good. So let's focus on the current fight on the screen. Just go back a little bit. This should clear things up a little bit. Fact Fiction kills Zumba. Zumba kills Cool Nat. Fact Fiction Flower goes down. At this point, they're 50%. They have a little bit over 30, 15. They have a little bit of time left, so Flower's gonna swap over to Widow. Ryu Hongjae swaps over to Ana. Same thing, ulti advantage, so the swap is trying to counter their comp, do better. Sinatra has ulti, CLB is still close, but not there yet. Swapping over here, we're just going to be looking at how the team fight goes. So with Wimpy going in, he's going to back out, get healing. Ryu Hongjae needs to keep him back up alive, but Ryu Hongjae is dead, so the only healing Mono is getting is from the health packs and Lucio, who just died. So the Lucio Ana isn't working either as well. Jake kills Widow, Adam revives Sinatra, Faction kills Toby. So that's essentially the healing all down after Ryu Hongjae died. Now it's just desperation swaps. Yeah, so essentially USA managed to hold. Flower didn't get too much on Widow because Jake was essentially applying enough pressure on him. Even though Sinatra died, he gets rezzed and he gets killed. He can kill CLB. And what is missing in this fight? CLB is fine. Zumba is tanking. Mino is tanking. It looks like the supports went down faster on this one because they were in a rush to get through. Yeah, Toby and Ryu Hongjae went down relatively quickly in that fight. So it's gonna be. I think this is gonna end up in a tie. But they're gonna pull out the Fire Mercy for South Korea on defense, with CLB on Tracer as usual, with the tanks on the classic D.Va Winston. On the other team, we have probably Fact Fiction is going to be on Lucio until they speed the people out, and then he's going to swap back to Winston. Just standard comp. So far versus just standard meta. Yeah, Fact Fiction is still on speed boosting. He's going back to Winston. There we go. So far is still just pressuring. AU damage. Yeah, so the double tank. Adam is super low, but he heals back up. Zumba gets demaxed. Zumba dies. Zumba gets rest. Jake is looking for Toby. Toby almost dies. Jake is doing lots of work. He's not under any pressure whatsoever from Tracer. Tracer's dead, I think. Adam uses his ulti. Yeah. Jake is alive. Yeah, so the Adam ulti getting ulti for the fight is really what changes the difference. Toby gets taken down before he gets the ult. Jake is still barely alive. The two divas ulti at the same time. Sabi kills Mercy. Sabi. Jake is still the focus, still alive. Ryu Honda takes out Jake. Is it a draw? South Korea draws. Okay. So with this, oh snap! I clicked the wrong button. So with this, you see that even though they both drew, a lot of superiority Korean coordination comes through with the support tank combination, where the support's going down a lot less frequently. Even in the last fight, Jake manages to get free roam and manages to help out with killing the supports. I think Sinatra kills Adam. Not Adam. Sinatra kills the Mercy. And Ryohon J is similarly taken out once that happens. Swapping over to the Canada game.
The snatch and grab cup.
It's going to be the standard Korean starting open. This is the Korean opener where they have the orb from Arisa, as well as the hook from Zumba to essentially get a free pick. With this time Flowers on looks like McCree, so instead of doing the classic soldier, they have McCree for a little bit better burst, I guess, instead of sustained poke damage. So 4 deaths for that. Both tanks are down, Mangachu's dead. So deflects that, Agility is still alive. Oh, on the other side, XQC's tank. I think Mangachu was on Diva, Genji, Tracer, Surefour. Now they're swapping over to triple DPS. And they swap over from Winston to that. Surefour goes over to McCree. So Agilities is keeping his ult charge. These 3 swapped because they needed the shield to contest their shield. I'm not sure if I would think about Ryan here because Iris definitely has that benefit, but it looks like triple DPS is what they're going to be doing. So they swapped to McCree. Interesting. Whereas in America, Agility dies, the hook. Iris dies as well. 3 dead. Surefour kills ABLB, and StableB gets rest. Surefour goes down, so it's a pretty, not a staggered, but it's a pretty clean fight for Korea, aside from StableB dying. Canada swapped Agilities off of the Genji after that hook. So Agilities is going to be tanking instead of Mangachu, and then they are going to be using Roadhog and Mangachu to break the shield faster than McCree Tracer. And they still have Roadhog, but the Mangachu should break the Eraser shield faster, allowing for hooks and or more picks. Oh, Agility is still alive barely, but XQC dies instead, and if he gets res, whole hog. Ulti eventually comes in right now. Zen ulti is popped. Korea just is pushing out so aggro. Zumba's alive. Jody goes down, Zumba gets rest. They just get rolled. Yeah. Riptire, that should be killed by... Oh, Arisa had a damage reduction, so she's still alive. Oh, that was a really good bomb from Mangachu. I think explosive grenade, explosive mine pops himself back up, so the whole thing only hits the tank, Zumba. Not Zumba, Agilities. So that's good. Agilities goes back. It's really just crazy right now. It's not really anything I can analyze, it's just people shooting. So major pick happens on Mangachu. They already res earlier, so Agilities is the one. Agility's killed Zen, so right now it's kind of seeing Agility's got 3. Looks like Agility shouldn't have whole hog there because the rest of his team was dead. That was a bad time to ulti. He didn't get anything out of it. But that's good in hindsight, he can't really tell. And yeah. So Flower is just free firing in the back, killing out the supports, while the rest of Team Canada is focusing on that. Whereas in this point, you see that when USA was playing against the Korea, you can see that definitely there is a lot more initiative to focus on the Mercy. They take the Widow Mercy. They instantly take out Adam. On this one, they're kind of playing the same game where they're just doing a reset and whatnot. It looks like I remember the first time it was a very fortunate pick on Toby, which is what actually caused America to push through in the first time. Here, you're seeing that what happens when this stalls out with any, even if they're evenly matched, the defense team is slowly just doing whatever. On the other team right now, they swapped over triple tank. That means they swapped Mangachu off of Junkrats because their thing isn't working. So Sailbilby dies. So they can't. That's a non-resable position though, so that's really bad for. That's really bad for Korea because Sailbilby can't. Mercy can't go out there to res him without exposing herself massively. So they have to try to wait for Sailbilby to respond with this, but they give up the point. Zenyatta ultis. Ooh, so even with that stun, he doesn't manage to kill the Surefour. Surefour, ooh, Zumba's down. The major push for that. Even if that push had successfully made it over there, the thing that made it so effective was that they lost the Tracer, which was the flanking option, which put pressure on the backline. You see here, everyone's dead except Joe Meister. Like literally, it's 5 people dying, then Joe Meister. It's fine. It's good. South Korea just got pushed there. They barely finish. So they're keeping on the Rhine. Diva Chu still on Manga. Manga still on Diva. Jeez. Diva Chu still on Manga. I'm tired. Besides that, it's very interesting to see Rolf and Mercy outperforming Ryo Hongjae. And Mercy, I don't even think they're outperforming. It's that they're more effective right now. They're not outperforming. They're on similar performance levels, but it's just that when someone's DPS goes down in a weird place, they can't actually res them. USA fight. Winston drops down. Winston guys non-resable position again. Surefour dies. Ryo Hongjae gets Surefour. And Surefour gets rezzed. And Tracer gets 2. Gets Rolf. So Valkyries are out for everybody. 2 reses are ready for Toby. 1 res for Joe Meister. They should have res 1 more, but they can't res the monkey. Defense has advantage unless they have a clean fight. Diva kills. So Joe Meister backs up. Mangachu killed himself. He's probably going to swap off to another hero, I think, right? Yeah, Mangachu is still on Diva. Never mind. XQC has ulti. And Zimba has ulti. So it's McCree Tracer versus Soldier, Soldier and Triple Tank. So Zumba, just trying to wait it out. Sailbilby kills Roof while the Diva comes in, and Ryo Hongjae goes down. So Ryo Hongjae gets res, Mangachu gets, and Rolf gets res. So no one's on point right now. Now they're on point. So Jake's still staying, Surefour still staying up here with attack visor. Monkey tries to dive Surefour, but Surefour is still alive. Shift4's barely alive. Joe Meister manages to res XQC the Ryan. Shift4 dies. So because Joe Meister had to go res Ryan, Shift4 gets abandoned. Rolf ultis. Now with the triple tank, they really don't have the DPS, so they really need to rely on Roadhog Hogs. Tanks are just surviving as long as they can, yeah. Flower's dead. Toby res Dumba. He probably has agilities is healing. They got 2 ticks. They have 40 seconds. 10 player. Tracer still alive, May still alive, D.Va ulti. Manos. Zen's dead. Okay. Canada gets both points. Let's move on. This should be Widow again. Okay. So for Canada's defense, they're doing a similar thing as what USA did after seeing the Widow the first time. Hide behind the wall. They have Mangachu, Rolf, Agility. So Agility is on Tracer and Shift4 is on Soldier. So it's just standard comp. But there's, let's say, Flowers on Widow now. Yeah, so the advantage that Canada had was that they knew about this, whereas USA was going in blind. They knew that Nanohana was a Widow player, but they managed to push through that. So they're just resetting now. Saviobi is still alive. They probably know he's here, don't they? Maybe not. Okay, yeah, they don't know he's here. Same thing. Saviobi is flanking. He's gonna apply backward pressure. Agilities is trying to distract. XQC's over there. Widow has to halt. Agilities got hit in the body. Mercy's dead. Okay. Even if it's just a 1-for-1 right now, Flowers fourth. Mercy's dead. Mangachu gets their Mercy. XQC is dead. Shift4 is dead. Tracer got body shot. Agility's died, so yeah, South Korea gets kind of off that Mercy pick. So Joe Meister going down really threatened. That really broke the Canadian defense. South Korea almost has full ults except for Mana and Ryo Hongjae. Yeah, Joe's at 60. So this is where one of the star plays of the game is. Right now, Flower is going to be peeking in the bottom. He's going to peek up into the top left window in a second. And D.Va is going to push out one of the tanks, I think. And that's going to cause it to be an unresable position for one of the... So D.Va's up there. They know where D.Va is. Or maybe not. I thought that was maybe that's a different time. Alright, so yeah, there's no one up there. Wrong. I'm remembering incorrectly. Joe Meister. Ooh, that was very dangerous for Joe Meister. Genji's gonna try to kill Flower in a second. Agilities. So Shift4 kills ABLB. They're backing out now instantly as soon as ABLB dies. This is just the discipline. This is really good. They're saving lots of time. ABLB gets res. That's good. So they back out. Genji, Agilities. Oh, they have a Widow now. Shift4's gone counter Widow. XQC's backed out again. Killmaster's dead again. Genji's behind. Genji gets both. Widow gets reserved. Agilities is still alive, I think. Oh, D.Va. Mangachu died though to Zimba. So both DPS are trying to kill Flower right now. But he's essentially still in the 2v1. That's good. Toby's dead. Agility's killed him. So with this DPS core, they're actually focusing on the Widow, which means that the rest of the team needs to carry instead of Flower. Flower gets Django bladed. Yeah, I watched this couple twice already, but it's still confusing. This is my second watching, and it's kind of just a lot of stuff going on. Ryohong and Jay managed to take out agilities. Jae-Hong's usually mostly right click, which is interesting. For that section at least. Jae-Hong is still doing work right now. And they managed to get the second point. Jumping. Okay, it's Genji. So Canada's doing the same triple tank, I think, with with agilities, XQC, and Mangachu. Tank this one, go up high ground, and then drop down to the point. Winston tries going to break that thing, and then Zumba, yeah. Oh, 39%. That hook was open, yeah. The hook's missed. You can see that here there are quite a few. Hooks misses again. Third tank. Ooh, Winston goes down. Man, Mercy reses him. Mercy falls. Mercy's dead. No, Mercy isn't dead. Oh god, Mercy manages. Is Mercy fine? Mercy's fine with that. Yeah, there we go. Canada gets point A. That's good. So Toby was in a precarious position because he needed to res Mono, and Julie's got a good kill off of Mono the monkey. The Mono the Winston. So the triple tank is actually working quite well for Canada, with how Agilities is managing to create openings. Even if he isn't hooking outright, he's still getting crucial pickoffs. So right now Genji's all by himself, everyone else is top right. Winston is high ground, shield bubble drop down, Winston's dead. High noon. Sure gets Toby's dead, that's Mercy down. Monkey's just trying to stall out. Sure trying to kill him off. Joe Meister reses both Cool Matt and Surefour killed Zumba. Mano dies, both tanker dead. Can Canada win this? 2 ticks for Canada, 3 ticks. Can they get 3 ticks? I don't remember. Yeah, today has been a long day. Canada manages to get it, okay. Okay. So same thing, hiding behind the left side, the left, not pagoda, the left building. And I think it looks like Flower is going to be on Widow with Tracer again, so Widow Tracer. Same meta, tanks and sports, no Arisa and Roadhog. Flower's on Widow. So B managed to sneak onto the point. Just pulls Diva away to try to deal with him one-on-one. Flowers. Ooh. Surefour's dead. Surefour gets rest, but Joe Meister's worse. Joe Meister's exposed a little bit now. Joe Meister's got safety. Ooh, this is. Okay. Rolf dies to Jae-Hong. Oh, this is visually pain. Canada's backing off, I think, because they lost Zenyatta. XQC dies. Oh, they have Mangachu to stall. So Mangachu and XQC stall with Winston Diva. Are they gonna swap off? Or are they gonna stay double tank? Oh, that was that. Okay, so this was the pick I was talking about earlier. So Widow goes in. Widow goes in to stall out or to try to get a pick, and Widow's over here. Diva currently is dashing over from the side, over there, that direction, and then right now he's trying to get a pick here. As soon as Winston goes over here, Diva's going to jump in and knock him out, which is was incredibly important. That opens up the defense. He gets knocked out XQC, so that he should die here. Mercy can't res him without massively exposing herself, and that really screws Canada's defense. Rolf dies. Mercy reses Rolf. That's it. That's it. This defense is over. Should be. Sure, I can go back up. Mangachu dies. Tracer, Sable B. Sable B's putting pressure on both supports right now. So they can't get out of spawn. Monkey's there, same thing. 2-6. Right now, Mangachu's on with the Tracer Mercy. Mercy's dead. Joe Meister's dead. Mangachu dies. Flower gets 2. Flower gets rezzed. Okay, so yeah, that major pick was that was the key move for that push, where Winston dies essentially trying to pressure the Widow. That's really good play from Korea. It's a bait, not even a bait setup, but it's a bait that very well taken capitalize on. Agilities is on defense. I don't know if they tied. I think they tied this. So I want to see how Canada manages to hold them off. Diva's up top, flanking left. They only have a minute 30, so Diva's flanking. Diva and Tracer are flanking. Flower's dead. Saber B kills XQC, so right now it's Winston for XQC. Tracer's with Diva. So everyone else is here now. Flower is still on Widow. Ooh. Widow's kind of just trying to get a pick, sitting out of ulti. Trance is forced. Winston is on the Flower. XQC goes down to Sable B. It's kind of hard to explain tactically what's going on. I'll probably do a video, just a clip, instead of an entire VoD review. This is probably just for me to watch then to kind of break down my analysis just in the future. Mangachu goes down. Oh, no, South Korea wins. So, Korea managed to tie with America, but Canada got lost. So I'm trying to figure out what the takeaways from this VoD review are. Main takeaways for me is that the support tank dynamic is really what drives this current iteration of Overwatch as of November 8th, 2017. This is really the meta, as it were. You break down the supports, you break down tanks, and then you the DPS are right picking. It's always been like that, where the supports are essentially the lifeblood of the team. If the support goes down, then you lose a lot of healing. If a Mercy goes down, you essentially automatically lose because your secondary supports, usually a Zenyatta or a Lucio, who can't sustain the rest of the tanks or the supports. You just lose a lot when your Mercy goes down. Ulti's management was really good from Korea's side. Canada had a couple of good looks, or a couple of good different compositions with their triple tank comp and their Genji Tracer comp. But it looks like their majority of their success came from essentially slow pushing and trying to get a pick. I know that their first push, their last push on point A for Hanamura was essentially propelled forward by a kill on mono, which essentially exposed Toby. And a lot of the plays are coming from that, where you can see a lot more positional errors are being made by the tanks, or a lot more things are being exploited against the tanks, like XQC dying to the D.Va push out to the wall, where he just dies when you can't get rezzed. Because of his importance to the team, even if he can get pressure on the Widow, it wasn't worth the risk. But he didn't know that there was a risk there, because I don't think he's ever had that done to him in competitive play, where D.Va just kind of bloops him out the window. So all in all, I think Flower is definitely the standout. But even though Ryohonji and Toby aren't very comfortable on Mercy in this Mercy meta, they definitely showed that a lot of their skills transitioned over, where even though they didn't so much out heal or outskill their opponents, they survived much better positionally, and they were exposed much less often because of how they were playing around their tanks and how they were supporting their Widowmaker. It was a lot of different really small things. It's kind of hard to explain, so I'm probably going to try to do a breakdown video, not a breakdown video, but a much more condensed version of what I'm doing right now, because this is just a raw, uncensored, trying to essentially break down what the whole game is going on as it goes live. There's a lot of stuff going on. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this never goes out. See you guys later.